Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Health Talk. I'm your host, Dr. Niru Prasad, with my background in pediatrics, emergency medicine, and urgent care, affiliated with Henry Ford Health System, St. Joe, Oakland, and Beaumont. The theme of our health talk today is meeting the challenges of college placement by our high school students. Joining us today as my guest speaker is Mr. Paul Kolin, and he's a board member at Bloomfield School District. And he's going to give us suggestions, advice to our students, high schoolers, how they should prepare themselves for a good college placement. Good morning, Paul, and welcome to my show.
Good morning. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So can you just give a brief introduction to our viewers?
Yeah, my name is Paul Kolin. I've been on the Bloomfield Hills School Board for 8 years. One of my passions is interacting with our students, throughout the district, mostly in the high schools, supporting them.
Right.
I have a radio show that I do on the high school radio network where I interview students who are involved in our co-curricular activities. And I've also done recently, I've done on Monday, and I'm going to be doing on Thursday, alumni who come back to give advice to students, going through the college placement process. So I actually interviewed around 10 students on Monday, and I'll interview another 10 on Thursday.
So that's a very good job. It's a good thing you are doing for our students, Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So great feedback from the students coming back, reflecting back on their high school years. Some of the advice for students, who are going through the process now or who are just entering the high school, what should they be doing to prepare for the next level? I mean, the first thing they probably should be doing is, and you don't necessarily have to have all the answers, is sort of exploring as much as you can. What's your passions? What's your interests? And then what do you want to do post-high school? I mean, college, a four-year university, maybe for a lot, maybe for some, may not be for all. So I think it's important when students are in high school to do as many things as possible. The high school here, similar a lot of high schools in Oakland County, there are a lot of opportunities for our students here to explore different things within classes and their co-curricular activities. And advice a lot of students got from people who, reflecting back, who are now in college or even graduated from college, who went through the high school experience, one of the greatest things is get out of your comfort zone, try new things, because you never know. What you think you want to be today or you think you want to go today may change, and you need to decide what the right fit is for you.
They change their mind so much, Paul.
Correct.
I know.
I mean, they change their minds because they don't really know. Some students think, as an example, they think they want to be an engineer, or they think they want to go to law school, or they think they want to be a doctor, which is fine if that's what they want to do. But there's more and more different things that they may not be aware of. Whether they want to explore business, whether they want to explore theater, whether they want to explore the arts.
Right.
And it's important when they're deciding on the next step, which would be the college application process, to really do some research on those schools that can provide the right fit for you. I think that's very, very important.
Yeah. So, I have all my grandchildren, they have graduated from private school, Detroit Country Day School, Bloomfield schools. And one thing I noticed, all my children and the grandchildren, I give them this advice in the beginning as a mother, as a pediatrician, you have a desire, a passion in your mind, what you want to do. And this passion will lead you to the motivation. And then once you are motivated, follow the line. No, everybody cannot be a doctor, engineer, or a lawyer, but whatever you want to do, you stick to your decisions. Am I wrong? Do you have anything
No,
else
it's
to add?
absolutely, and then it's never too late to change.
Right, yeah.
Even when you're in a college. I just had an example. I interviewed a student recently. Her name was Annalise, who went to Syracuse. She thought she was going to go into medicine.
Okay.
But her passion was theater. To make a long story short, she opened up, and now she's touring with the Broadway. She's touring Broadway with the
Theater
musical
group,
Funny
yeah.
Girl, right? So she thought she wanted to go one path, and then when she was at the university,
She did like it. Yeah.
she was singing show tunes, and then decided, this is the path I want to go, and she changed her passion. That was her
Right,
passion, and that made her motivated.
Yeah,
And then she eventually,
motivations.
ended up in this pathway. I think it's very, very important, for students to do what they enjoy.
Exactly.
And
I
then-
agree with you. Yes.
And then wherever that leads them, it like I said, it could be a four-year college, it could not be a four-year college. If it is a four-year college, again, explore different four-year colleges. One of the feedback I got from some of the alumni was, when they decided on what university, whether it was in-state or out-of-state, they toured some universities, did some research, and decided, this is the place that I'm going to be happy for the next 4 years.
Right. So, in other words, you advise them to first do a research of the colleges where you want to go, right? And then check with their criteria what they need, right? Like writing essays and all those.
Yeah, I think more and more, correct, right? What is the criteria? There's, all criteria to get in, and it's changing. Some schools required an entrance exam. More schools nowadays are going away from that.
Okay.
And then what I'm hearing is, to your point, the essay part is more and more critical. So obviously what you're taking in terms of, some of the universities that are harder to get into, they're going to look at, your course, what you're taking, like AP exam, AP classes, IB classes.
That was my next question
Yep.
from you. What do you think about the AP classes, and also can you comment about the STEMI program?
I think, again, many
Study math, science,
Yeah, many-
technology.
I
What
mean,
do you think? What is your opinion?
of the STEM of
Yeah,
I think
program.
I think in terms of whether it's our high school here or anything, one of the things universities look for, and the ones that are harder to get into, is rigor in terms of what you're taking. AP is your standard, taking those type classes. IB is becoming more and more popular. The international baccalaureate classes. Our high school and many other high schools take that. My son went to the International Academy, which was all IB
International
classes, which is more focused on writing, thinking, and it does, and my feedback from a lot of students who have gone to college, it does help them prepare better, because there's going to be a lot of writing that's going to be happening in colleges. So, you want to look at rigor. You want to look at, obviously, why you want to go to a specific university.
Right.
So if it's the University of Michigan, this is my advice I always give students, you want to, when you're writing your essay or you're putting in your application, don't assume that the University of Michigan is a very prestigious school. You want to connect as to why Michigan, as if Michigan wasn't top 30 in the
okay.
country. It was just a school. Like, why specifically Michigan?
Yeah.
Except the fact that it's a great school to get into. Are there professors there that you want to follow? Is there research facilities there that you want to get involved in? Is there particular classes, particular program, particular things
you want
in the community? How can you make an impact at the university that you're applying for, just as much as, they're a right fit for you? So I think those are some of the things that I would advise students to look into as they're going through the college application
for our
process.
students to know that once they are applying to that particular college, they should stay focused what they want to do and how they connect with the people over there, right? Not thinking that, oh, this is the best school and all those.
Well, because
Is that,
it's correct, because the people who are
too
reading
much
the
concern,
the
yeah.
people who are reading the applications, I mean, they know, they obviously have pride in their school. They know it's a great school.
Exactly.
They want to know what distinguishes you, what impact are you going to make on the university for them, so,
Okay.
you're one of,
Yeah.
thousands of people. You need to distinguish yourself. However, you're going to do that. So it's the why a particular school, one reason. And then two, what distinguishes you? How are you going to make an impact on the university? That all needs to come across in your application and specifically probably in your essay.
Right. So essay is the most significant part of college preparation, going to the college, right?
It's a big part.
Writing essay.
It's a big part, writing the essay, like the
and
why.
AP courses, right?
Your rigor in terms of, obviously, your academics, they're going to look at that. Some may or may not look at test scores. They're going to look at your co-curricular activities. Now, when you get involved in co-curricular activities, my advice to students would be, don't just get involved in an activity to get involved in it.
Okay.
Get involved in it to make an impact.
Make an impact.
So if there's, like as an example, I think it looks better if you had a passion in something and started a club and made an impact in the club, as opposed to joining 7 clubs and just being a part of it and then not having enough to write about what impact did you make on your community or your high school in a club. Again, they're looking at impactful people that are going to come to their community, their college campus, and make an impact. And it's important for students to start thinking, you don't just join a club to join a club. Join a club, as you said, because it's your passion.
Passion,
And then you obviously have made an impact.
Right.
Just like for me, as an example, I didn't join the school board just to join the school board. I joined the school board to try to make an impact on students. And so I've done unique things, whether it's my
you
radio
have done a
show,
lot.
I go to events,
I
I
know.
support our students. I try to not just be a name on a school board name. I try to connect with students so they know I'm a resource, I'm there to support them.
So that's great, because you have done a lot. I read your stuffs. So for our children, basically, you advised them to stay focused, join the different clubs. What is your opinion about a student is already doing good, GPA is like 4 or whatever, and then they are joining the clubs like a chess club, DECA, and all those. Do you think it is too much stress on those students to do that thing, or do you advise them to do all those things?
Well, again, if a student is stressed, then obviously they've stretched themselves too thin, right? So whether it's not taking as many AP courses or only getting involved in clubs that they're passionate about, and it's not taking time away, they actually like it, so it's almost like their social aspect.
Okay.
So a lot of students get involved in not just clubs but sports. So they have to really love the sport because they're putting a lot of time into it.
I was going to ask you about the sports section.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing. You develop a lot of great skills, time management, leadership, but you have to love the sport.
Yeah.
Because you're practicing a couple hours a day, and then you're traveling, and then you're participating in the event itself. So it's a lot, and students need to, again, like you said earlier, if they're passionate about something, then that motivates them, then it doesn't look like it's taking away from anything. It's just part of their normal routine.
It's a part of it. So I agree with you,
But they also need to take care of themselves, right? Stretching themselves. They need health.
Health is very important.
They need self-time. They can't, just focus. I need to do this to get into the university that
university level,
that I want to get into.
The varsity team, and we are talking about the sports now.
Yep.
Like every particular sports, you have at high school, they are aiming toward varsity team, right?
Yeah, they're aiming for a varsity team, and students, obviously, it's their goal. But, some of this is out of their control. They can practice, try hard, whatever happens.
Yeah.
I know some students get up and down, whether or not they're on a varsity team or not, make it or get cut.
Yeah.
Or even if they're on a team and they don't have enough playing time, they need to make the decision if this is the right fit for them or make the best out of every situation that they're doing. But their mental health, they cannot just focus 100% on, I'm doing this to get into college.
Right.
Then they'll fail. Then they'll stress themselves out. They'll have high anxiety.
Mental health is a big issue here
It's
these
a
days,
huge
yes.
issue.
Huge issue, yeah.
It's a huge issue, especially in an area here, because everyone is competing with everyone, and they see everything on social media. They're expected to go to a certain place, expected to do certain things, and that's not the case. They need to just worry about what's best for them, and
take care of their health.
it'll all work out in the end, regardless of what they do, regardless of where they go.
Yeah, so that's very important, mental health issue, because considering all these facts in my mind, being a mother, grandmother, and I decided to author my books. I wrote the first book in end of 1999, and the proceeds went to the handicapped
That's great.
children, deaf orphans. They were distributed all over the world through the Orphan Medical Network. My books, including the Mother Teresa Orphanage. So now, during the COVID era, this book is 0 to 2 years of age. During the COVID era, I could not work for 3 years.
COVID was hard on everybody.
So then I wrote this book, Guide to Navigating. This is my second book that I wrote, and the proceeds from this book is going to the UNICEF Foundation.
Good feat.
And I'd like to present you with my book,
Thank
for
you.
the Bloomfield schools.
Thank you.
And then, I have divided in section what the kindergarten to preschoolers should know before they go, and then another one elementary to middle school, and then high school. And when I wrote about the high school, I included a part of it about the drugs, all those drugs.
Yeah, I know, there's
So
problems.
mental health
Yep.
services. So this is a review of everything that I have done.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and so far, the children and grandchildren are doing good. But I'm so happy that you are advisor there. You advise them.
Yeah, I'm a supporter. I just have a lot of experience. I try to
Right,
connect
yeah.
alumni with current students and use just experiences talking to people to try to give them the best advice.
The best.
I'm not a counselor there, so they should continue still going to their counselors, for that specific advice. But if they want just someone who's interacted with a lot of alumni and seen a lot of things, have talked to admissions counselors, I'm happy to give, whatever advice that they need.
So I believe all the students there in high school, they have a counselor. So what do they do if they have their problem? They will go to the counselor?
Yeah, every student's assigned a counselor. So
Okay.
if they have any questions regarding the application process or anything, my advice would be to go to their counselors.
Okay.
And their counselors will help them navigate through the whole process. The counselors there are excellent. They've been doing this for years. They've helped a significant amount of students, but that's what they should be doing. They should be going to the counselors.
So one more thing I wanted to ask you, Paul. Our children, we have 4 kids, Country Day School, University of Michigan, undergraduate, and the private colleges. None of my children, they took any music band. For some reason, they were more motivated to play tennis and this and that. But my grandson, this is the first time he's in a school marching band.
Good.
So can you tell? Can you tell about this passion that he has developed?
Well, I think it's great. I think, like I said, there's the arts and the music. it's been great. We have a great program here at Bloomfield Hills High School. We have a great marching band. We have a great arts program, a great orchestra.
Matching
Yeah.
drum and on the marching band.
Yeah, I've played. I'm a big supporter, but like I said, it's whatever passion student or even they're not sure, they should get involved. And we have great teachers at the high school that'll sit, teach students, get them involved, and then, down the road, I just interviewed a student who, make a long story short, was not even sure she was going to be in the marching band.
Yeah.
And she's in the color guard. She ended up being the color guard in our high school, and now she's in the Michigan marching band and the color guard, and she's going to the Rose Bowl. So, and she wasn't even sure, that she was going to go that path, but she decided to do it, and it's worked out, and she loves it.
Yeah, and this one is in the marching band, and we go to attend his Zaz, all those things.
Those are all great. I love going to all those things.
This is a new experience because none of our children had incline, plays piano.
Listen,
and in the chess club, he does chess.
It's great. Everything is great, and everything is going to help, and everyone should go through, and any passion that they have, they should try to explore it.
Right. Yeah. I think music is very soothing, isn't it?
Very, correct.
I wish I had done music. I wish I had learned piano.
Probably, I wish I've done a lot of. I wish I did a lot of things, but it's too late now. So all we can do is advise people of our mistakes and try to explore as many different things as possible.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to ask you about the music, because sometimes I tell him, you cannot keep playing drum.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah, and the DECA, can you comment on the DECA?
DECA is a business club where they learn presentation skills and they present in front of judges. So that's, if you're going to the business profession, that's going to be very, very helpful. And again, our students were quite successful.
Okay.
They just went to a tournament that I attended. One of them was your grandson, and we had the most people that qualified. Exactly. Most people qualified for the state championship, 36 in our history. So again, we got some great teachers leading it there. So it's a great experience. So many different things that people can explore.
Yeah. So what else can we talk about? Can we touch the computer part, because it's beyond my thinking, but my two grandsons, they are in computer science, and then they graduated, and now it's easy to get a job with the IT people.
IT seems to be the wave of the future with artificial.
IT has a good future.
Yeah, artificial intelligence. We have a great robotics program in the high school.
Robotics, he was in robotics.
Yeah, so the robotics program is great in the high school, where you go to competitions, and that if anyone wants to go into the STEM profession. So there's various things that you can go the business route. You go the robotics route.
Right.
We have a great forensics, which is public speaking club, where people can follow their passions and learn public speaking, which is critical in anything, as you can see here.
Of course, yes.
Then you have music, you have the arts, and then you have your classes, and then you have, sort of your social. So again, just to kind of close, I think it's important to, again, try to experience new things. There's a lot of different things that are out there.
Connections are very important.
Connections, and you'll develop connections through those co-curricular activities as well.
Corporate.
Getting involved in our, community, charities, and other activities. We do have a great internship capstone program. When they're a senior, they can get involved in working with organizations out in the community. So
that will help them with the college placement.
It'll help. A lot of this will help. And I think the first place that they should go is make sure they're sitting and speaking with their counselor.
Okay.
And their counselor gives them, these are the things that you should consider, and these are the opportunities.
Depending upon, like you said previously, what colleges and all those.
Correct.
Counselor and
what they're looking to do.
My oldest grandson, my two grandsons, University of Chicago, graduated, and he got accepted at Northwestern Medical School.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and the second one is graduating, but he wanted to do JD law business. So what I was going to say, I always had a passion that I will become a doctor. Fortunately, God helped me. My husband is orthopedic surgeon. So at least 1 out of 8 grandsons, at least one of them is in the medical field.
Great. That's congratulations. That's awesome.
I know, because I always wanted to become a doctor, nothing but a doctor since I was 13, 14.
You should be proud of yourself. You've obviously accomplished a lot. You have this show going on, so,
Yeah.
so that's great.
So I'm happy about that. What other things we can talk about? Now it is, for the seniors, now it is a graduation coming and all those.
Yeah, I think with graduation coming.
Do you have any comments?
I do have some advice, just again, and this is reflecting back, talking to students who've left.
Sure.
I think enjoy your time. If you're in high school, the common feedback I got from a lot of the students is enjoy your time here. You only have it once.
Right.
So don't stress out. Where you'll end up is where you'll end up. The college application process is a very, very stressful time.
Exactly.
And even if you don't get into, and it's beyond your control, you can do the best that you can do and submit it. Even you don't get into what you think may be the place you want to be, there is a right fit for you. So just enjoy it. Don't stress too much.
Yeah.
Do the best that you can do and just enjoy every day, because the people who have left our high school and now reflecting back, a lot of them have reflected and said they wish they would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Because it's gone.
It's gone.
It's
this
gone.
is never going to come back, right?
It's never going to come back. Never going to have this time again. So just enjoy, build relationships, explore new things, and try your best not to be stressed out or high anxiety. You're going to get some grades that may not be, what you want. Some things may happen that may not be you want. Beyond your control, there's nothing you can do. Stressing over it is just not going to help. I know it's easy to say, but that would be the biggest advice.
Exactly. And what advice would you give for the juniors, like 11th graders, who are now preparing for the college?
Yeah, I think
regarding the studies and all those, again.
I think
we are back to.
For juniors who are preparing, talk to your counselors. Your counselors are there to meet with. Talk with them, indicate what you're looking to do, ask them their advice on what colleges that you need to apply for, and what you should be doing from now until you're applying, which is going to be that summer, the summer of going into your senior year. What should you be doing? One of the biggest things is, again, don't procrastinate, don't put it off. Just making sure that you do everything you need to do. You're taking the right classes, you're involved in the right activities, you prepare, the essay accordingly, and then you do your research. You make sure that the university that you want to go to is the right fit.
Right. So that's very good. It's a good advice, and this is such a good school district, Bloomfield Hills.
It's in the
top 10 school district, I believe, in the.
Yeah, it's one of the top school districts in the state of Michigan. We have an abundance of resources. We have great teachers and educators across the district. We have great administrators, great counselors, and we have an enormous opportunities in terms of not just the classes you can take, but the co-curriculars, getting involved in your community. So you have a significant amount available to you.
Sure.
Any advice would be is take advantage as many things as you can.
So I'd like to thank you, Paul, for coming to my show today, Health Talk. I thank you for giving your advices, and the topic is meeting the challenges of college placement. And I do that every year. Every year I do it around the springtime, know. And I hope that our health talk, will help our students when they are ready, when they are preparing.
Yeah, I hope to.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love the students that go to our high school. I don't want them to be anxious or anything.
Right,
I just
yeah.
want them to, just to be happy and then utilize whatever resources that can help them.
That's true. Yeah, I like to thank our viewers, for watching, and of course the camera people, because they help in
Yep.
taping.
Thank you, everyone, for putting this together.
Thank you again.
My
giving
pleasure.
me
Thank you
time.
very much.
Okay.